Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо.
Hello, welcome to Record Label Boss. It's Music Industry Monday with your favorite host of EO, and I want to say thank you to all the people who have joined us already, like Yo-Yo and Vani and Meg and all the other people that are on the various channels. I hope you're having a great weekend. The start of your week was great. Just as a quick reminder, there's some people that didn't have a great week and their week didn't start great. It's the people of Ukraine that definitely could use your support. And if you're wondering how to do that, you can go to CountZeroRecords.com, and in the top left-hand corner, you'll find the link tree of the government of Ukraine where you can donate to public and official channels to make sure that your money gets there. Today, we're going to do, because for a long time I've said I'm going to make the shows a little bit different, and we want to do a little bit of a switch up. So I'm going to make Music Industry Monday, and then I'm going to do something clever for Wednesday, maybe Wicked Wednesday or something. I haven't really figured it out, but it's going to be equally as clever as Music Industry Monday. And for Music Industry Monday, you're welcome to ask any question about the music industry, and we will essentially recap what has happened, and we will generally talk about music industry and music industry related topics. I have some things to talk to you about today, might interest you or not. Some of you might have noticed that a little bit is different, and that's because I changed some furniture and some carpentry inside the studio, and it's a lot more comfortable to sit now. Also, the camera is a little bit closer to me, and I'm a little bit farther from the green screen, so it's a little bit easier for me to talk into the camera and look at you. That's Can I help a little bit? Alrighty. Howdy, folks. Okay. Howdy, howdy, bowdy. Meg does a glam rock makeover a la Kiss to Avi. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to be something that people are going to be hugely interested in. All right, we still got some music to review, and I want to start with that while you're considering your options. I got a bunch of tracks that I have to review before they expire, and I'm just gonna start now. I have here a little capture window at the bottom that you can see here, and that's a group called World Government has sent me this. They are from Cyprus, electronic pop rock punk. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure this genre exists. Electronic pop rock punk. All right, is something gonna happen? Yeah. All right, it's a 5-minute track during which not much is happening. What are we gonna say to them? Okay track, but it is a bit empty and builds very slow. Could be the start of something. All the best and cheers. And as we have talked about last time, now that you know the payment impulse is at 30 seconds, you know, it makes even less sense to make songs that are 5 minutes and 50. And we're going to Ellen Dragu. Dance Dance from Romania. Okay, yeah.
I want to see your body dancing every day. Let's go to the party. Let's go Angle Way.
Okay. Okay, this guy.
Bailando al lado tuyo me hace volar. I want to see your body.
I want to see your body. Okay, he's. I have to say he's involuntarily funny. And Creepy Ape says this is definitely a new cat. No, it's not. It's the same one I've had for such a long time. And thank you for wholesome, Gaetano. Okay, I have to turn this down a little bit while I give him feedback, or I won't be able to contain my laughter, you know. Okay. Okay, track with some good basics, but some rather simple production that has upwards potential. All the best and cheers. You know, for so many years and months, actually, I wasn't able to type. And I had to do all this with the voiceover. And I'm happy that my arm has recovered. But I have to say that I think I was streaming like 3 times. 3 times a week. And doing that for like 3 to 4 hours or something every time. And that was just too much, you know. I was getting actually health problems from doing that. Probably because I'm old. Alright, next one. This is Roisin O. Oh, it's Ireland. It probably means something. It's probably spelled completely different. It's probably like Reshinyo. Sorry, dude. Girl. And she's gonna entertain us with some pop music from Ireland. And I hear that Unicorn wants to have makeup. And I have to say, this is her second submission to us. She had sent us the track Stolen, and I had said to her to send me another track. Probably because I wasn't entirely sure about Stolen, but I think this track is not so bad. Because it's very reminiscent of another already existing track, Vani. Yeah. So, you know, I will contact invite. I beg. I would like to get in touch with the artist. Cool track and interesting voice. Grab a call. Whoops. At CountZeroRecords.com/ Alrighty. Yeah, I thought it was that was good. I mean, I think that if you're into that kind of music, then you're probably gonna like this. If you're into this, like, almost Enya, like, you know, Celtic glory pop, then I think this is gonna be right up your alley. And if she could make an album that has, you know, songs like the first one. Oh my god, this is too funny. And like the first one and make that, I think that she would have some yes, Vani. I would think that is a almost like a mental cover. But we will see. We shall see. All right. Creepy Ape says, given that we have seen loads of pop artists sample famous classical pieces, Gaga, Maroon 5, Clean Bandit, is there a part of classical pieces you think that will make a great pop song? I think the one artist that is essentially extremely undersampled is Mozart, because he has some of the best melodic components in classical music. I did sample him a while ago, quite a little bit, and I found out that a lot of people don't use Mozart so much because he changes shit. He changes tempo, he changes keys, he changes rhythmics. He wrote really varied music, and people like to sample artists to where everything is like really similar, and the entire song is really good. Is really easy to use, you know. So in terms of sampling stuff, it's not only how good is the sample itself, but how easy can I integrate it into my song. And Mozart's works are really good, but they're difficult to integrate. If just try to sample them and see how it works for you, you know. You'll find out that that's difficult. So I think that he's that underrated artist that Creepy Ape was talking about. Check out Petey, Don't Tell the Boys. Yeah, he can send it to us. There's various ways people can send us stuff. But I would encourage him to come to our Discord channel. We have a community of indie artists and a bunch of people from the music industry there. So that's CountZeroRecords.com/Discord, and it will give you an invite to the Discord server. Also, we're now such a large Discord server that we're actually a public server, And I think you can find us on that Discord. Look for a server thingy if you just put in Count Zero Records. The server is called Count Zero Records. So if you just look for Discord and Count Zero Records, you'll be able to find it. And then you can drop your links in there. We're going to check out that server today. Creepy Ape says, if you look at the top 40, what genre do you see consistently occupy the top spots? Is it pop, rap, or something else? I'm cheating. I'm cheating because I know what sells and I know the numbers in the background. So the genre that was previously called urban, they don't call it urban anymore, which is kind of like this rap thing, you know, that branches out into things that are like a little bit R&B, a little bit soul-y, a little bit funky, but mostly rap hip-hop is definitely the dominating genre because it's currently pulling in, I'd say, about 36% of the total genre money, and it's by far the biggest genre. Generic pop nowadays has somewhat of a rap and hip hop kind of like slant to it. Very, very generic pop isn't working as well as it did before. So if I look at the top 40, what genre do you see consistently? I would say that it's, people don't want to use that word, but I like to use it, urban. It has some connotation in the United States that somehow minorities live in cities, and that's why it's weird. I don't know. I don't live in the U.S., but this type of urban music is definitely the music that is dominating the top 40. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. There's electronic, then there's pop, there's very little of guitar, and there's like no rock. So it's actually those are actually biodynamic DT990s, the open-ended ones. Really good for your ears, doesn't destroy you while you're working. Really good. I use a bunch of biodynamics because I find them to be cheap and good. Like price versus what they deliver is like excellent. Plus they have this fabric here rather than the weird plastic foil that KRK uses. I like KRK stuff, but the plastic foil just breaks after 1 year of usage in a studio environment where you put it on every day. You know, it's something else if you're using it at home and you're putting it on once a week. But if you're an audio engineer or somebody who wears his headphones for like 2 to 3 hours every day, shit breaks and it's super annoying. And then it's great when you have a product that doesn't break easily and has the audio curve that you like. For me, that's that. Okay, the Creepy Ape says, do you think the trend of sampling more and more tracks from the 80s and 90s is due to the artists being younger? No. Due to the artists being younger with little knowledge of music from a previous decade. No, that's not what I think. I think, or I know, the reason why there's more and more samples going on from the 80s and 90s, etc., is because less and less music is actually produced by artists. I don't think we've ever been at a time where so little music has been actually made by the artists themselves. If you look in the top 40, I probably could not tell you who still writes their own music, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 people in the top 40. And songwriters have found out that it's just very easy to go back into the catalog of their own label of music that they essentially own, that they can get the rights to, and sample it and use it. And it's a matter of convenience, number one, and it's a matter of guaranteed hits because they're taking stuff that has already worked once 20, 30, 40 years ago. So there's some kind of jazz guy He's on the same label, let's say Universal. And there's this team of producers that writes the music for some artist. And they say, hey, why don't we take this and this song? It worked really well some time ago. It has a modern feeling to it. We're going to pitch it up and use it. Since it's in label, we don't have to ask anybody. We don't have to clear the sample or anything. And it's essentially a guaranteed... It's not a guaranteed hit, but it's pretty much a guarantee that the song isn't going to totally bomb. So the reason for the sampling is due to the fact that music is now made 95% by label-employed producers rather than the artists, because the artists wouldn't know about these samples. The artists usually have very little understanding of music, or there's not so many artists that are music connoisseurs that know music that goes back like decades and decades and decades. It's usually the producers that do, because they've been in it for 20, 30 years. They're usually older people. They're usually 40 plus people that do have that kind of range, that kind of knowledge of the things that have been going on. So if you take somebody like Dua Lipa, she's not going to choose a Charles Aznavour sample from the 70s of a French chansonnière, because that girl has absolutely no idea that kind of music even exists. It's the producers that are choosing these samples, and since it's now mostly producers making music, it's actually the labels that now make the music. It's really not artists anymore, at least in the Billboard Top 40. And these people are usually older because they're experienced. They're hired by the label because they're great. They usually work for the same label all the time. So you have the same group of 100 plus, 40 plus aged producer people producing every single song that you can listen to on the radio. And this is why you see similarities in the way that they work, in the way that they go about doing things, or what even they like to sample. And it doesn't have anything to do with the artists at all. And it goes from hip hop, it goes from Dr. Dre to Dua Lipa to anybody else. It's always the same. It's different producers, but they all do the same thing. Long answer to that question. Creepy Ape is asking, what are some genres that are not often mixed but sound surprisingly good together? Classical music and electronic music. There used to be a thing to where that was a thing, but it's not a thing anymore. But it really goes well together, because you can take classical music and you have to take a short loop, because classical music varies so much. And then work it out, and you can do a lot of very interesting music that goes well together. It's just currently not really in style. Currently, you got Brazilian bass and stuff that's in, and that, you could do Brazilian bass with a top layer of melody from classical music. And Hidden Butt Slurper says, I check those out. Yeah, they're totally worth it. They don't pay me for saying this, by the way. Nobody pays me anything. They should. They totally should. If you hear me Biodynamic, you should pay me. Creepy Ape says, what do you think about a genre called electro swing? I don't think I am extremely familiar with the genre. I could only imagine that it's oh, Dalek is following on Twitch. Dalek is a guy I met on a different planet. So thanks for following on Twitch, Dalek. I hope you're having a good time. If you want to ask some questions, you're welcome to do so. But no game questions. I'm not doing that here. All right. So yeah, I couldn't tell you much about electro swing. Sorry. Creepy Ape says, how do you consume music in your free time? I'll let you know. Do you have a high-end setup at your home, and do you listen to new tracks in the studio, or do you listen to music when driving? Wow, that's a lot of questions. Okay, so how do you consume music in your free time? I have a playlist that's called Barbecue, and it has exclusively progressive house on it, and by various artists, and it's to play in the background while I do barbecuing, drink beer, etc. I find progressive house, more melodic one, to be really nice for me to listen to it in the background while I do stuff and I barbecue with my friends and have a good time. And it's that playlist that always plays. It consists of four mix videos that are each like 2 or 3 hours long. And that gives me a playlist of 2, 4, 6, 8 hours. I think it's 4 or 5, 8 to 10 hours. So that's really great for barbecuing or doing something if you like progressive house. If not, then not. Do you have a high-end setup at your home? Yes, I have multiple ones, but what studio people consider high-end and what end users consider high-end is not necessarily the same. I have in my production room upstairs in the audio studio, I have a producer setup, which means that I have speakers that have a very linear amplification curve and amplifiers as well, which means that the setup will play music the way that it is made. Absolutely true. And a lot of people don't like to listen to that kind of setup because it's not as bassy as they want to hear it. But when you're working with it, you need to hear it how it is, really. You know what I mean? You can make it bassy later. So in the studio, there's that setup. That's definitely the most expensive setup I have in my house. And people generally don't go up there to listen to music because they all think it sounds weird. And the headphone sounds weird. And it's true. It's not your typical like end user setup. It's a setup for an audio engineer. Then downstairs here, I have a 6-point setup with a consumer-based solution from Sony. And this is what people like. To me, it sounds, I don't know. It sounds consumery. It sounds shitty, but people are very happy with that setup because it sounds like people think things should sound, you know, like blurry, boomy, mushy, you know. But so this is for the friends. So they come here, you can turn it on, you can sit on the couch and watch our new music videos on the screen behind me, and have that 6-point system to listen to the new music videos that I force them to watch when they come here. Yeah. Do you listen to new tracks in the studio? Yes. Or do you listen to music while driving? No. I don't listen to music when I drive because I want to focus on the car, on the driving. And the more music consumption I have professionally, the less I want to have it. And Vani says I haven't drinking alcohol in 8 years. Are you kidding me? You haven't drink alcohol? What? That is the beer tap is not set up yet. I pre-cleaned it and readied it, but I have a beer tap outside. I still need to set it up. Thanks for answering my questions. You're welcome. So yeah, I have the outside sound system, you know, that plays my progressive house barbecue list, and I have inside here, mostly for when it's winter or we have an inside party. You can play music videos and enjoy them on the 6-point. And then I have upstairs the studio, and those are all very different ones. Okay, now I have something that's really funny, and I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have to zoom into this shit. I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to do this because a lot of people are gonna get the joke. But the next song is by a guy called George Makridis. Okay. I'm just saying it. Just saying it for everybody that knows what I mean. Right, I'm gonna make it small now again. Gotta make it small. So we're gonna listen to George Makridis. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you don't know why, then it's okay too. And he's obviously from the United States. Okay, I was like, you're gonna say he's from Greece. All right, let's play it. So George Makridis sent me this track.
Hitting up my phone, but I'm on my way to Greece. 88 degrees, doing lines on the beach. Club, never on my
Hey
own.
Mike, how you doing?
Settle down, I don't need. Yeah, every drink on me. I said every drink on me, yeah, cause I got it. 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 Yeah, I got it. Oh, I got it. I got it. Doing what I'm supposed to do. Trust me. We're gonna have a good time, that ain't just me. Staying up all night, that ain't just me.
Okay, yeah, no.
From island to island we move.
Kalimera. No, it's not morning.
Good time, that ain't just me. Staying up all night and that ain't just
Ja, sastikánite.
that's time, that ain't just me.
Okay, track with some good parts
Take your pick,
and some
take it faster.
improvability in the vocals and production. The best, and cheers.
Time to try, but just know if you don't be hitting up my phone, but I'm on my way to Greece. 88 degrees, doing lines on the beach. Never on my own.
Okay, so that was that. The day cologne over in the US. He's on his way to Greece, 88 degrees. That's all I can say. Yeah, what can I say? All right, next song is from George Makridis again. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, George loves me. No Thanks to You, another song. Okay.
Thing that you said was true, now you moved on, I'm moving on too. I didn't at first, but now I get it. It hurts now, but soon I forget that nothing.
And the song's released by Yorgo Productions LLC. Yorgo is Greek for George.
Thing that you said was true, now you moved on, I'm moving on too. No more waiting on a call back. I never thought I'd be a fallback. Go ahead, say what you need to, but thank God that I know the truth. No thanks to you, oh no thanks to you. Saying things to keep me.
It reminds me a lot from about the first song.
You can't say it, but you moved on. And doing that's no issue. Problem is making me miss you. Well, he does things that I used to. So many chances to do the same, and even more reason to. You say you got demons, me too. But I never let them out on you. Didn't at first, but now I get it.
Yeah, it's okay. Like the first one, it's just not. But it's like a 6-pointer, maybe. Bad Usher clone.
I never thought I'd be a fallback. Go ahead, say what you need.
Okay, track with some good parts and room for improvement in vocals and
I'm surrounded by some new shit and
production.
I'm going through
All the best and
First I
cheers.
did it just to keep it moving, but now I'm into it. Yeah, 'cause things change.
Yeah, there's production wise, there's quite a little bit. Is he cute? Yeah, well, we will see. the people that release their first EP, I'm always wary of talking with them, because the experience that I made is that people that are releasing their first songs, like literally their first song, second song, third song, usually have no idea what they want or where they want to go or how they can follow up, and usually they quit music altogether. So the most success we had in signing and working with artists was with artists that had already had somewhat of a career in music, that had multiple albums and had us as their second or third label or something. The very young people in music usually are very difficult to work with, mostly because 70 to 80% of them quit when they find out how difficult it is to succeed in the music industry. Yeah, Meg just wants to have the fucking Chippendales, which is okay. Everybody likes to watch a good-looking person. It's one of the secrets to success in music. But you know, and this is one dirty hip hop rap from the U.S.
Why these haters always gotta be jocking, man? Why, man? Huh? Can you tell me why, please?
Yeah, they already know. Punk motherfuckers get on the flow. It's a stick up your ass, you hoe. No, it won't slow down, don't see the pole. Flow, I got that, you already know. This few shit, they missed the bowl. Stop, white boy, they just the flow.
Okay, track with improvable vocals and okay, but basic production. All the best and cheers.
When I awake, I see the shit, so I pass the chick.
Alright, Woody Hood is next. Classic instrumental, electronic, hip hop, and rap. So it's classic rap. Jesus Christ. Woody Hood from Canada, it ain't me. No, I ain't me. There's so much sub on this one that my ears are already bleeding. All right. Okay, track with a lot of sub and rather large upward potential in the vocals. All the best and cheers. Alrighty, who's next? The Near from New Zealand, electronic folk acoustic pop. Come on. Classic cinematic epic rap, yes. It's everything. Classic cinematic, instrumental rock, folk pop, hip hop, death metal, everything. All right, let's listen to The Near now. The music is like drowning. The voice is drowning so much I can hardly judge it. But as far as I heard, difficult. Yeah, you know what? The changes that I did today in the studio actually allow me to have co-hosts now. So it's possible that two people can be here now. There's even two microphones and everything. So I'm getting ready for Yo-Yo coming and getting that makeup makeover from Meg. It's gonna be a great show, and we're also getting ready for Vani to come over and I don't know, do makeup on each other with Mike, with Meg. And Mike is also coming. Okay. So lots of people are gonna come over here. Yeah, it's actually like a single broadcaster space. It used to be that. Mike wants a makeup too, I'm sure. Everybody, but now you can put two people here, you know. Because I wanted to make it, because sooner or later we're gonna have some guests, because COVID is hopefully on the way back. So we're gonna be able to invite some people to the studio and do some streams with our friends and some other musicians, and maybe do some interviews or something. And probably it's gonna be an interesting place. And it wasn't possible before because of the setup that we had. Everybody getting makeup. This is not Meg's Beauty here, guys. This is Record Label Boss. It's a different show. Even though, you know, how many people did we have last time? Last Thursday, we had 170,000 viewers on Meg's Beauty, which was really, really awesome. So, you know, I think our record on Meg's Beauty was 370,000 views on Thursday. So yeah, a lot of people watching it. A lot of people very critical of it always. I mean, I think I rarely talk about the show because it's not my show, but it's part of the music industry and it's part of our label. And of course we produce it and we're behind Meg and everything. But what is always interesting to me is that, you know, somebody makes a show about makeup and they're actually a licensed and trained professional that really loves makeup, and they do the show, and a very large amount of feedback what coming in is essentially saying that people don't want to see makeup. And I'm thinking to myself, if you don't want to see a makeup stream, then don't turn it on. It's not like you're paying for it or somebody's forcing you to watch it. I will never understand this, you know, that there's people that are coming into a makeup streamer's makeup stream where they're explaining how to do makeup on something for, you know, stage or for private persons or whatnot, and then tell them that they're not interested in what they're doing. You know, that's like if I were to go to somebody's stream that is talking about carpentry and I go into his streams, very specifically click into his stream and tell him that I don't give a shit about carpenters. You know, I just don't get it. If you don't like the content that somebody does, you don't like somebody's show, just don't watch it. You know, it's like yelling at the TV, you know, where he's like, I don't like skiing. Yeah, if you don't like skiing, then don't turn it on. There's a bunch of other channels. That is always so interesting to me. But I have to say that there's a lot of people that like to watch these makeup streams. They're mostly women, but it's also some dudes and some people talking about beauty and body consciousness and things, you know, that are in and around feeling good and looking good. And I think it's a very valid place and a very valid show. And again, if you don't like gardening, then don't watch a gardening show. Don't complain to the host of a gardening show that they're doing a gardening show and you're really, really not interested in gardening. Because it just baffles me every single time. That would be that, you know. And of course you always have some people not unhappy with what's going on. Okay, what are we gonna say to that? Pretty cool track. We would like to hear more from you in the future. All the best and cheers. If she puts out some more, then maybe it'll be worth it. Future, not a 1, that's an exclamation mark. Alrighty, that was good. That was that. Now we will quickly check on our Discord. We want to make up, yeah. I thought gardening shows were about cars. No, I mean, it's just like, there's specialty shows about everything. There's shows about cars, there's shows about music, there's shows about gardening. And it's great, if you turn on the History Channel, you'll see history shows. If you turn on National Geographic, you'll see shows about the Earth. You don't go to National Geographic Channel and yell at them because they're showing you bears. I'll be like, why the fuck are you showing me bears? I wanted to, it's like, but some people just haven't really gotten the hold of the whole streaming thing. And, you kind of like choose your streamer. So, all right, let me push that down. All right, what we got here, I got one more song here I want to play. It's from Wonder Bread, who's always submitting some stuff. No, I've already listened to that. Oh, I already reacted to it. Okay, good. But, well, then I will just take this time and say that if you want to join our Discord server where we talk about music and where there's currently bunches of people on there, a lot of musicians are on there, a lot of managers, producers, all kinds of people that are on during the day as they're working. You're very welcome to do so at countzerorecords.com/Discord or just Google for Count Zero Records Discord. You'll find it too. It's a public server. You can join it now, even without invite. I don't know how that works, but I think you can go to Discord and then click Explore Public Servers, and then you can do Count Zero. Yeah. And you'll find our server, and you'll literally be able to go there. So from the Explore Public Servers, you can now join our server. So because we're large enough. I think that, hold on, what was it? I always forget what this is called. Because one thing is the partner program and the other one is Discovery. We are now in the Discovery and Public Server program, and we're about to get into the partner program. And then there's nothing more, because for Discord servers, there's like various tiers of how many people you have. And then when you have 500 people, you can be a Discovery server, which we already have. And then when you have 1,000 people, you can become a Discord partner and be like a really big server. And we're shortly ahead of doing that. Also, I wanted to say on Music Industry Monday about our Discord music bot and how that is going. Let me just quickly read through here, though. A lot of Pitchy says, sorry, I can't watch the stream. I'm getting 15 seconds of frozen nothing for 3 seconds of it working. You can try Reddit or Twitch or YouTube. And if it freezes on every single platform for you, then it's probably your internet connection. So there's various options of watching us. And Mike says, is this the how to hook up a VCR channel, or how do you say 8-track channel? Yeah, that's right. Here, this is the tape channel where we instruct people on how to use cassette tapes. Okay, what I wanted to say was that we now have some rooms on our Discord server specifically for our music bot, because it's so popular with people. We have a room with patch notes where you can see the patch notes for the music server. We have a room where you can vote for new features, and we even have a room where premium users can go and where you can, get some inside information about the bot. For those of you that don't know it, we have been working for the last few months on a Discord music bot that plays all of the songs of our label on your Discord server for free, that you can invite to your server. And within the first 2 weeks, over 10,000 people requested it for their server. But we are currently limited to 250 servers by Discord because we're still applying for the bot to be verified. So currently there's, 9,750 people that didn't get the bot. And I'm asking for your patience. And as soon as we have the verification with Discord going, which they told me it's going to be a few weeks, we will be able to supply around 10,000 servers with our music bot. I want to say that in the last week, we got a new high-powered server just for the bot. We ported the bot to Ubuntu Linux. We moved to /commands. We instigated. We patched in bot sharding, and we brought the bot from being able to be on like 300 servers technically to being able to be on like 10,000 servers at the moment. And we're going to continue to scale that up because so many people want to hear the music of our artists on their server. And I think that is totally awesome and great. And we put a lot of time and effort into upscaling the bot from kind of like a hobby project to something that's running on a fairly powerful server, and I will be able to supply an unlimited amount of people with music, because it's now on a scalable solution, shardable. I know a lot of these things don't mean a lot to you if you're not into programming shit. But essentially what I can do is I can just click on a button, add more capacity, and then the bot will run on more resources. And this way we can scale it up really, really well. But I'm very happy. We've been working very intensively over the last, I would say, 2 weeks on getting the bot ready to be a professional bot. So if you're interested in our Discord music bot, you can go to countzerorecords.com/DMB, or at the best, again, join our Discord server. There's a room for the bot in there, and you'll be able to read the patch notes and invite the bot to your server and get some updates on the bot. It's we'll see where it goes. So far, I'm very, very happy about how many people are actually interested in having it. And I have to say one more thing. Sorry, guys. It's the first and only legal music bot that I know on Discord. Because all of the other music bots are using a Python library called YouTubeDL, which is a library where they stream a YouTube video, take the audio from it, and then play that. That is, of course, not legal because you're sourcing something that you don't have the rights to, and then you're playing it in public. It violates YouTube's terms of service and a bunch of other things. And a lot of people have been looking for a legal alternative to that, so that they can entertain the people that are on their Discord server with music. And our bot is currently the only 100% legal, fully licensed music bot for Discord. So if you have a server, we currently have about 20 spots left because we're always kicking out smaller or servers that don't work. because currently we're limited to 250, but we're working with Discord to get that unlocked. And we have currently provisioned for 10,000 servers. So once we get the approval from Discord, we'll be able to move from 250 servers to 10,000, which is a lot. And I'm already working on premium features and super cool things, and let people vote on it. So I just have to say that really quick. Hey, ebook, you're here. He says hi. Illegal. Yeah. Well, illegal is a wide frame. They're actually not illegal. They are against the terms of services of various companies, and they're of course a violation of copyright. So they're illegal in a matter of that they are copyright violations, because that's actually a federal law in most countries. The rest, violation of terms of service, is not illegal. It's just a violation of terms of service. And Dalek says, cool, the bot news. I mean, yeah, I'm really happy about it. And Lada Pichi says she froze. Okay, well, that's what I said. If you have the problem with streaming on YouTube, if you have it on Twitch, if you have it on every single platform, then it's your internet connection. If you have it only on one platform, then go to another one. But what you can do, by the way, is you can go to Reddit, because we're broadcasting a low bandwidth version of this stream on Reddit. It's only 2,000 kilobytes a second. It only takes about a third of what the full HD stream is. So the lowest bitrate version of this stream is on Reddit. And you can just go to Reddit and watch it there. It's up straight and it's without the side. So if you're having problems streaming this stream, your best choice is Reddit, where of course you'll see less, but the stream will be significantly lower bandwidth requirements. And ebook says YouTube music, not yours. Yeah, generally you're not allowed to take somebody else's platform's music and then use it for your commercial purposes, whatnot, And ebook says they don't allow me comment karma. Yeah, you have to have 127 comment karma if you want to stream on Reddit. By now it's easy for me, but when I started it was a little bit annoying, so I had to do lots of comments. But that was a while ago. It was 2 years ago. But generally you can do it in a week. Just comment on a lot of stuff, and eventually you'll write something that people feel interesting, and then they'll upvote you, and then you'll be able to stream on Reddit. It's not so difficult, and it doesn't cost money. It's just a little bit of effort. It's always one thing when you have to pay something or you have to buy something, but it's another thing when people just want to help out. Yeah, I wouldn't use any bot to do that or anything. It's literally just takes 2 or 3 days at the very most, where you're posting stuff like 2 or 3 times a day. So what I would do, in order to get comment karma on Reddit, is what everybody else does. You go to Ask Reddit, and you just comment on the questions there, because Ask Reddit is a forum where people ask questions, and you give answers. And the one that actually got me into streaming was, what is the least known fact that you know, or what is the most useless piece of information that you know? And I wrote, like I do many times, that Serbia is the world's biggest exporter of raspberries. Because I don't think anybody knows that. And I got to know it because I was in Serbia with a trade delegation, and the guy from the Serbian trade delegation said, and our major exports are, blah blah whatnot, and we are the biggest exporter of raspberries in the world. And I was like, what the fuck, It was very interesting, you just don't know that. And then I got like 150 upvotes for that, and then I got the stream. And to this day, I think it's very funny. It's these little known facts that you pick up, during your life for something. I don't know. Some country's got to be the biggest exporter of bananas, probably Costa Rica or something. I don't know. But get on Ask Reddit and answer the questions with your comment, and then when people upvote you, that's when you get comment karma. Yeah, you need comment karma. You don't need posting karma, you need comment karma. So you need to comment on somebody else's question. So this is why you go to Ask Reddit. Somebody asked a question, and you comment with a question. And, Raspberries got Record Label Boss started. Yeah, well, I mean, I was writing other stuff. For example, what's an undervalued movie that you like a lot? And I wrote Equilibrium. And obviously a lot of people upvoted that too, because they were like, yeah, that movie was actually really good. And Equilibrium is actually an excellent movie. That is, as far as I think, extremely underrated. I thought it was great in pretty much every aspect. But I don't generally share what people think is good. I don't. The things that I think are good and the things that people think are good are usually not the same. So, and that got a lot of upvotes too. So you can use them. You can totally use those things. Now you know some things, and it should get you your, I think it's 127 comment karma that you need in order to start broadcasting. And all of my friends that started at the same time streaming on Reddit that I did pretty much did the same. It's really not that difficult to do it. But it takes a little bit of time, and just use Reddit for a little bit, and then you can do the streaming. Yeah, but in order to stream to Reddit, you have to either use your phone, or hey, the cat is here and is scratching me, or use their RPen streaming client. So I have Reddit RPen Studio running here, because everything else goes through one client, which is up here. How did that just get dark? And then Reddit is over there on second monitor. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. I am going to have a look here in our server. Do we still have some people? Well, let me see. Promote your music. Yeah, there's a bunch of people dropping their stuff in here. I think people aren't getting the demo review thing. Oh no, because we have two rooms on the Discord server. One of the rooms is called Promote Your Own Music, where people, it's mostly young artists, can link their music, and people can listen to the music. And hey, James, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. And then we have a second room, which is called Demo Review. That's for the people that have been on the server a little bit longer. And when you post something in there, I'm going to review it on the show. Obviously, that requires you to talk for about 20 minutes in total. And a lot of people just aren't very interested in being an active part of a community. They just want to kind of like spam their music. Oh, that's such a good point. Spam their music and run away. So this is a thing that is a non-secret in the music industry, and is fairly obvious, but people just don't want to hear about it. And that is that when you spam people with shit, they're not going to listen. Whereas if you actually interact with them, they might. You know what I mean? If you actually get to know people and then send them your demo, they actually might listen to you. Whereas if you jump on a record label server spam all the channels that you find with your advertisements. I'm such and such, I make this music, and then leave the server, I can guarantee you nobody's ever going to listen to your music. And I see this so many times that people try to do that. And it's the same on email. People spam some of our email addresses because we're in some kind of list for stuff. And they don't even know who they're sending it to, because they feel if they just make their list big enough, it's going to work out for them. But the point is that if you really want to connect with somebody at a label, you should definitely find out which kind of music that label signs. And then you should send it to somebody with a personal note, say, hey, Frank, I am such and such from here and here, and I know that you are the A&R for this and this genre. It would be so great if you listen to the song, blah, blah, whatnot. We get almost no contacts like that. We get spam. We get a lot of people spamming us on every single channel that you could possibly imagine, but we get very little normal human interaction, even on the internet, to promote the music. Because, get this, artists would do anything to promote their music, but they will not talk normally to people. They just want to have the easiest possible time and just spam their shit out to everybody. I made the experience that if I want radio stations to play our music, it's best to write them an email as if you would to any normal person. You'd say, hey, team of such and such, today we're sending you this EDM song by such and such, made here and here. We think it's going to be great for your shows where you need an energetic EDM song. It's made in America. It's pretty cool. Why don't you give it a listen? If you want to do an interview with the artist, we're always there for you. Thank you so much for considering our artists, Concert Records, blah, blah, whatnot. And these things actually work. Whereas if you just spam shit to everybody, it's not going to. And this is the weird thing, A lot of people always ask me, how can I promote my music? And when I tell them, they're like, yeah, that's literally too engaged. That's too much work, So we're I don't know. I think we're kind of like in a situation to where a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to be famous, but it can't be a lot of work. It has got to be easy. So I want to be famous, but it's got to be quick, easy, and it shouldn't be, too involved either, because I only want to do it like maybe an hour or two a month, maybe. And you probably know how successful people like that are going to be in really in anything that they do. There's a bunch of artists that are always hanging around, that are staying in contact with us. And I will listen to any one of their songs. It's not a problem to me. If they ask me for any kind of advice, I'll be happy to give it. Have you tried LinkedIn? Yes, we are on LinkedIn. All of our companies are on LinkedIn. All of our people are on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is typically a place where you connect with other businesses. It's typically a place where we connect with marketing agencies, other labels, with label associations, people that work in and around the same industry. It's not really a place where artists connect with you, but they could. They totally could. They could connect with you. They could find you as a label there, and they could connect on LinkedIn, but they don't. And this is what I find so interesting, that artists would be in such distress to market their music and be like, yeah, I don't have any money to market my music. And when you ask them, how many important people have you connected with asked them if it's okay to send them stuff and then sent them stuff. And usually the answer that you get is 0. And that means that they really haven't marketed their shit at all. They just want to put stuff on Spotify because, again, that doesn't require any effort. And then believe that instant fame is going to just happen to them. And that's very, very weird. Make a Hindi song album. I tell you a story. So, yeah. Typical Monday. Yeah, Vani's going to get to... Vani's level 6 on chat. She's going to be level 7 soon, yeah. But I think it's the same... with everything, it's the same in business. You know, if you want to get an investor on board, you have to connect with them first. Nobody's going to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars if they don't fucking know you. You're not going to be able to like send out spam emails and ask people to do shit for you. And they have no idea who you are. It just doesn't work like that. And in music, it's the same. And the amount of emails that I have received personally toward the people that knew who they were sending it to, out of, I think the better part of 100,000 emails, it probably was maybe at the very most 1 or 2. And the success rate of those was actually really high. I think one of them was, I know one of them was signed, and the other one I'm not sure. But this is just so peculiar to me because here you are and you're an artist and you could promote your music and you could send it to people that could listen to it and actually do something about it. But you choose to not do it because it's too much work. You'd rather just pay some money to Submit Hub and just send it to some random people, spam it to an email list, and then complain that you're not getting ahead. So, isn't Surfing Monday General seen as achievements on its own? What? My thumbs are not cooperating. So, yeah, there's a little bit of advice or wonder for me in it too, always. And yeah, so there's that. I think that everybody's gonna go back really to performing over the next 1 to 2 years. I hope that COVID is gonna be over soon, and that that hole that made is going to be filled. I know it's not. That's the sad part is that I know that it's not. So we're all looking forward to performing again and to artists performing and being able to perform. It's going to be a great thing, but at the moment it's also difficult because everybody's trying to perform and everybody's trying to take everybody's spots and everybody's doing these catch-up tours, of stuff that they sold, the tickets they sold 2 years ago, and they're still trying to catch up with that. So that is going to be an interesting thing. And Vani says that her achievement of the month is to finish her diamond painting. I don't even know what a diamond painting is. I literally have no idea what a diamond painting is. What is a diamond painting? Please do enlighten me. Oh, somebody says that somebody posted something. Let me check that. I want to see it also. Ah, it's with that push diamonds or something. With these things that you push in there. I see that thing. Yeah, I never did that. I don't even know how that works. But you just take some plastic thingies and push them in there. Check the photo, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I just checked it out. Yeah. Diamond paint. They call it diamonds, but they're just really like little plastic pieces. Diamonds, diamonds. I'm like, what? You're painting with diamonds? You're what? Crazy. Yeah, in unrelated news, we're still talking to YouTube because YouTube recently disabled our AdSense account for reasons that they can't tell. They can't tell us why, and the customer support also doesn't know why. But we sent all the business papers again that we've already sent 3 times. I tell you, I mean, running this label feels like you're the head administrator in some kind of like funny movie where you're dealing only with incompetent people all the time. I spend a lot of hours every week reactivating accounts that systems have blocked for reasons they can't tell me why. And a lot of the time I actually spend on just keeping things going because naturally they tend to break, which is very interesting to me. But I found out doing this label thing since 2018, I found out that especially American tech companies generally don't have customer support in a sense that we in Europe would think customer support is, to where the person that renders the customer support will be able to help you and solve your issues. What these companies have done for the most part is to outsource a friendly greeting to India. So whenever you have a problem with YouTube or Google or Twitch or anybody, some Indian person will friendly greet you, and then absolutely nothing will happen because they don't actually have any meaningful customer support at all. And short of suing them, there isn't really anything that you can do. And I was really amazed to find out that in the country where the customer is king, it seems to be normal and rather the norm than anything else to not have any kind of customer support for whatever you do. And I find myself working more and more with European companies because there you can either call somebody or talk to somebody and they'll actually do something. Whereas in America, you'll call and talk with somebody and they'll be like, yeah, just check back with us in 1 to 3 months and maybe it'll have changed, you know? And when you ask them what's wrong, yeah, I can't tell you because I cannot see what's wrong, you know? So I think that if your customer support cannot solve a problem, don't have customer support at all. It's useless because your customers will turn to customer support, and then you'll ask them all kinds of questions, and after the people have provided a plethora of information to you, you'll then say that you have no clue why the problem exists. You're not the person to solve it, and the customer should just wait for a month or 2 and then circle back around, you know? And that just makes a very frustrating experience. And Vani says, tomorrow I should know if I can finish notice. End of June already crossed for me. I cannot stand 3 months. Vani, I just want to say that you can quit at any time. any provision that's in your contract that says you have to keep working is essentially invalid anywhere. Companies write it in there in order to make employees not quit immediately. But if you are quitting and you're going to a new job, you can literally leave any job at any time, any second of any day, and there's nothing they can do about it other than to stop paying you for it. And giving notice is absolutely unnecessary. You can walk out of any job, anywhere in the world, even in America, where you have absolutely no rights as an employee. The whole thing is really weird. But companies do it because employees kind of like do it anyway. You know, you write it in there and they will do it, and that's why they write it in there. And James says, I went in a building the other day and talked to a robot receptionist to get booked in. I started a new job. So James and Vani are both starting new jobs. Well, that's good. Went to a company, having to book myself in. It's even worse. And Mike says, I agree with what you're saying, but Apple has the opposite. Their customer support is amazing. I have to say that the Apple customer support was always very friendly. They just don't have a solution. For them, customer support is buy a new device if your device doesn't work. Reinstall your computer if your computer doesn't work. Or generally, don't ask us to fix anything, just do it again. That's the kind of support I got from them so far. They were extremely friendly while they did that, but it was absolutely fucking useless. Any calls I ever had with Apple, I might as well not have had. Because they were never able to solve any of my problems, but not because they couldn't, it's just Apple doesn't solve things. They say buy a new computer or set up your computer new, or bring your computer in and we will fix it for $1,000. Oh, Mike says he called with a logic problems and they solved the issue. Well, that's interesting. I have to say, Mike, I never called with like software issues because I tend to figure those out myself. I always called for hardware issues or like deep system issues, etc. And what they will tell you is we don't fix things, we don't analyze things, we just replace. And if your software doesn't work because there's an Apple patch that broke it, there's nothing we're going to do about it, absolutely. So Apple is pretty much, it is what it is. But I have to say, I never called for like user support, like how do I do X on the software or how do I do Y on the software. And Vani says we can be fired in 3 months of notice without any reason, and it's fine here. Federal law of work here doesn't protect us employee. Yeah, but it goes both ways, Vani. This is why you don't have to give notice for anything. There's a plethora of Supreme Court decisions that essentially state that if you were to be forced to work in a place where you would not want to work, that would be against your human rights. So you are entitled to walk away from any job at any time you want. It doesn't mean they have to compensate you or that there won't be any kind of like maybe problems. But these, you have to give us notice. Those things generally are all invalid. Yeah, I don't have the activity on. As you can see, I don't have any kind of Twitch things here. Other than the alerts with but I'll drink some water. Yeah, I don't have an alarm here for that. Once I find out how I can get Twitch activation alarms on the stream, I'll let you know. So I had a talk with the personnel department of the company I worked before I started the label. And I said, look, these and these and these and these and these provisions are all illegal. Why they're in the contract? And they said to me, oh, yeah, we know that. They're not illegal, but they're unenforceable. But 90% of the people will still adhere to them just because they signed them and they believe that it will legally stand. So large companies generally always put things into the contract that they know isn't enforceable and isn't workable. I know, Vani, but listen, nobody can force you to work. If you leave, what are they gonna do? What is the corresponding fine that you have to pay? What is the punishment if for violating the notice period? What is it? In Austria, there is no fine for violating the notice period. And that's the point. How much do you have to pay? And I'm pretty sure that you'll find out that there is no fine for violating the notice period. I could be wrong. I'm not familiar with Swiss law, but that's usually what it is. I don't think that they're going to make you tens of thousands of dollars because you violated the notice period. And even if so, then you would say that you're not that you're leaving them because you don't feel safe at the workplace anymore, and then they would have to prove that the workplace is safe. There's just so many things that you can do. People are always surprised when I say this to them, but I say if you don't want to work, you can stop that very same day. I've never seen a country to where you couldn't do that. Because you can physically remove yourself from the premises, and there's nothing the company can do to force you to go back in and work for them. And what James says is true. They might not give you a reference. The social system might not give you insurance. There's all kinds of ramifications this might have. But if you have another job already, and Mike says, but the Count Zero Records artist contract has the tar and feather rule if you leave early. I'm a little worried about that. Yeah, I've been considering how to work with people in the future. I've seriously had a talk with some Austrian artists and some labels and other people. And everybody's currently bringing into question the type of contracts that we have at the moment, to where you contract an artist for 3 years or so, and you really bind them to you, exclusivity and all of that. But at the end of the day, what are you talking about? You're talking about Spotify income, which is nothing. Labels are watching, medium and small labels. The indie scene is currently watching the complete obliteration of any income from royalties. So there's actually nothing to split up anymore. All the money is now in performances, and for many labels, performances are not even part of that contract. For us, they are, and people are generally doing their performances under the table. There's very few artists that actually bill the venue for when they do a performance and then register it with us. So I think the music industry is going to change to where labels are no longer going to have these 3-year-long delivery contracts, etc. But in return, they're going to say, you're gonna have to pay us, or we will not work for you. So I think that artists are thinking it's gonna get better for them, but I think it's gonna get worse, because for most artists, that means they're gonna have to, where they in the past paid us $50 to $60 a year in the first year and the second year, gonna have to pay closer to $300 to $800 per month to get serviced by a label. And if you cannot afford that, the label will just say, look, we're very sorry, but you're not making any money, and we cannot make any money from Spotify, and selling music is a business model that no longer exists. So unless you pay us, you just really need to do it by yourself. And this is where it's currently going. I had a meeting with the Austrian Independent Label Federation, where all the, not all, but I would say 30% of all the indie label owners in Austria were on that call. And people are saying, we no longer need long-term contracts. We no longer need contracts for royalties. None of that is necessary anymore, because there is no money coming from streaming anymore. So why even make contracts for that revenue that isn't there anymore? Simple. Every month that you want service, you pay us $300. And the month you don't pay, you don't get service. And if you think that service from a label is not important to you, then don't buy it. And I think that's what it's going to be, to where labels are going to be more like lawyers, bookkeepers, doctors, just people that you pay for providing you a service. Because the matter of fact is that most artists just don't have a percentage that you could share with them. A 50-50 contract with an artist that makes $20 a year is not a contract that you want to be in. And this is most of the contracts for labels nowadays. Yeah, barrel needs to be changed, Yo-Yo, but we can do this in a day. I just need to check the CO2, but it should be okay. James says, my wife walked out on a job and they didn't take any action. Of course not, because it's extremely difficult to... because she's going to say, I walked out, it was a toxic place, they were mobbing me. And how are they going to prove that it wasn't so? If you need a certificate from work, it's another thing. You know, if you want something from them, there's definitely something else. They have great reputation on the work market. Yeah, but I know. How many business ventures do you have going? So I would say that I have two major companies. One is the media company that holds everything, distribution, publishing, Count Zero Records, Count Zero Media, that has everything to do with content, media, publishing, distribution, artist management, promotion, blah, blah. It's what I colloquially call the Count Zero Group. The company that holds all of that is the Croatian company. It's called Monte Arto Venture. And the second company that I have is now a fully fleshed out real estate development company. We just finished the first funding round, and we're going to do the second funding round soon. And that is a completely separate thing. Very interesting thing, very cool thing. I'm going to be really happy doing it. Mike has to go, bye. And James is asking, are you going to do a Eurovision Watch song along? Yeah, definitely will want to do that. We really have to check it out. And ebook says, same with book orders, they're very less paid. That's right. So it doesn't make any sense to make a 50-50 split contract when the money you're splitting is $100 a year. So yeah, business ventures. So in the media company, thing. There's a lot of projects and things in the incubator company, Monte Alto. And we kind of like spin off the things that really work. And the first real spin-off is the Count Zero Group, and a second spin-off is the real estate developer. And then there's, I would say, another 10 projects that are still in the incubator company. I don't know if anything is ever going to come of these, but they're all interesting ideas. So whenever an idea takes on a life of its own, then it gets a brand and a presence, and then we start working it as an actual thing. Because some things that I think are gonna be great turn out to be shit, and some things I think that are never gonna work turn out and work. So you just really never know what works and what doesn't. Yeah, we do have an accountant. But to be frank, currently our accounts are not so complicated that you would need a full-time person for it. Our accountant works on it, I don't know, maybe 10 hours out of the month, and she has other clients as well. Of course, she's a freelance accountant, and she does all of our accounts for us and all of our, annual reports and stuff like that. Other than the ones for the UK and the US, I do those myself. So all the companies that are in Europe, she does, and everything that's overseas, I do myself. But yeah, that's generally how it is. Every project, every idea, everything that starts its life in the incubator company. Because there we already have a legal structure, we have everything you need, credit cards, accounts, blah, blah, whatnot. And then once the idea grows into its own thing, then we branch it out and make its own thing about it, And Count Zero Group is essentially the content company. And then we have the real estate development company. And James says, I've just filed my US taxes. Yeah. As far as I know, you don't have to pay US taxes unless you make more than like 100,000 or 200,000 or something annually. It's something if you live abroad. If you live, not in the US. Because I had to file some of these declarations for some people. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is how we do it. But the amount of companies and the amount of projects isn't the same. And this is why I'm saying, yeah, it's about 100K, that's right. That we have two. I would say we have three. We have this incubator, kind of like venture capital company that continuously works on incubating projects. That would be the number one. Then the content company, Count Zero Group, would be number two as the first spin-off. And then Red White Red, the real estate development company, would be the third one. That is the second spin-off. And I don't know, something else might spin off. We're thinking about a software developer or something more technical. I don't know. There's currently no plans to spin off something else. How is BLT betting on? We have essentially completely closed all of our cryptocurrency and NFT business. Not closed in the sense of that we actually had anything to close. But we have received information, or we have made experience in that sphere that has made us very critically think about yes Vinny, what's going on there, and the long-term expectations of it. essentially, we believe that both cryptocurrency and NFTs are not going to stay as they are at the moment, because they are far too dependent on manipulation by a very few select parties. NFTs are almost always a scam, to where most of transactions that are conducted in NFTs that increase the value of an NFT are mostly done by the seller itself, and through repeated transactions at higher values, they artificially inflate the price of an NFT. Somebody just 2 months ago bought an NFT for 2.8 million, and when they put it on sale on OpenSea, they got a bid for $236. NFTs are a strongly overhyped market with a lot of fake, and it's the same for crypto. Essentially, the entire value of all cryptocurrencies in the world is controlled by no more than 10 people. And these people are free to manipulate the course of any cryptocurrency as they see fit. And since cryptocurrency is the underlying price peg for NFTs, that by extension and indirectly makes NFTs extremely risky. So if one of the if the 10 people decide they're gonna hike the price like they did last August when they started, things are gonna go up, and if they decide they're gonna make it crash, things are gonna go down. But that kind of centralized market control, that very, very few people have a huge amount of control over a market, is something that generally we don't get into. Because those markets are markets that are generally ruled by the monopolists. It's kind of like starting a operating system company and then going against Apple and Microsoft. That's just not very good business sense. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go into a market to where you have 3, 4, 5 competitors worldwide, and they dominate the entire volume of the market, and they can do whatever they want. And you're going up against them. That is not a good strategy for a mid-sized company. And Vinny says, something I learned about NFTs is that if the server owner of the NFT stops paying, keeping the server, it's all gone. That's for off-chain NFTs. If you have an on-chain NFT, your NFT is replicated in every root node of the blockchain. But most NFTs that people buy are what's called off-chain NFTs, to where the artwork is stored on a normal web server. And then you're right, Vinny, 80 to 90% of the NFTs will be irrevocably gone when the server provider that hosts the content of the off-chain NFT closes that server. It's stupid. People have so little understanding of how the technology works. And when you're talking about the on-chain NFTs, those are hugely expensive. An on-chain NFT will cost you about 10 to 100 times the minting costs of an off-chain NFT. So most NFTs are minted on off-chain. And the on-chain NFTs are super, super expensive, and they still don't have any value. So the crypto and NFT space is currently where we see very rich and very powerful people making money. It's a place where the poor pay and the rich receive. If you're looking at the flow of value from cryptocurrency, trading cryptocurrency, owning cryptocurrency, it goes from the bottom to the top. The flow of money is from the poor people to the rich people, from the small companies and the small investors to the very big companies. And it's the same with NFTs. The people that are currently making money with NFTs are the NFL, super big companies, well-known artists, special NFT groups that have a huge amount of influence, and generally people that have already a huge amount of influence. So again, it goes from the little guy to the big guy. So what we see the entire cryptosphere as is a place where small and poor people lose money and big and rich people gain money. And I have to say, if I had $10 billion, I would probably not be one of the rich guys in crypto. But I do something else with it. But if you look at things like, for example, Hex, and the founder of Hex, I always like to watch him. He gives a lot of interviews, and that guy does not have one lick of an idea how economy works, but everybody's doing interviews with him. And I'm sure he's convinced of what he's saying. He just has no fucking clue what he's talking about. So in a sphere where the small and the poor lose and the big and the rich win, where there's lots of lying, lots of incompetence, lots of risk, this is not where we want to go. We actually calculated our potential returns from being lucky in the crypto sphere versus being lucky in the real estate sphere, and our profits from real estate far outpace any possible profits we could have in crypto or NFT. Because these stories that you hear, I bought this NFT for $20 and then I sold it for $2 million. 99.9% are pure lies. They're marketing plans. But the one guy this really happens to is real, but it's 1 out of a million. So if you're calculating what is the possibility to make money with crypto, at the best estimate you can do with the probabilities that you know, with the returns that you know, and then you take the same thing, you apply the same amount of money, and you apply it to the current real estate situation that we have. We are working in a very specific real estate situation. Our real estate potential profits are 3 to 4 times higher than in crypto, and the risk is extremely much lower. So in a situation where you have a market where you have a lot less risk and a lot more potential profit, you would be stupid to not switch markets. And this is what crypto is. It's overly risky and underly profitable. And that's it. It doesn't have anything to do with technology or what I believe in or etc. But if you're talking about investment, it's what's the risk and what's the profit, and that's it. Any thoughts on the Johnny Depp? I don't know him. I don't know her. I just know that many times, and I know it's going to be controversial what I say, many times women utilize their situation and the way that how the world sees them in order to get at men. And I know many cases where that had happened, where men were unfairly accused of things and then had to suffer the consequences because by default, society believes the woman. I think that is very sad, but I think we have to realize that that is something that happens every day. What can I say? Fathers are discriminated against, men are discriminated against, but also women are discriminated against, black people are discriminated against. It goes many, many ways. And I'm not going to make a judgment in the case of Johnny Depp and his whatever wife, girlfriend, whatnot. I don't know them. The only thing that I do know is that, especially in a divorce situation, domestic violence is brought up a lot of times as a weaponized argument in order to force men into a settlement, because courts are statistically more likely to side with the woman given if there is no evidence. So if the man doesn't have correct representation and a good lawyer, it can be very dangerous. So what can I say? And Vinny says you're completely right, especially here in the US. It happens all the time. Heard there's some cheap residential real estate in China. Yeah, we're not doing China. No. No, we're doing Croatia, and it's a wonderful place to do your real estate business. Great profits, great returns, wonderful projects, very nice. Much better than crypto. What can I say? Nothing that crypto could ever beat. If you're looking to the year-to-date performance of crypto, I mean, fucking look at it, and then look at the risks. If you're looking at YTD performance of crypto, you'll be like crying yourself to sleep, knowing what kind of risk you're taking. And I'm not even talking about the regulatory risk or the banking risk and all these things, or the Republic of Austria instating a 30% tax on cryptocurrency gains, all this kind of stuff. All the good stuff is coming down on crypto at the moment. James says, surprised they have continued with the trial because it's not good for either. I don't know. I don't know the personal situation of these two individuals, and I don't want to comment on it because I just don't know. But society is very stereotypical. Vani says she gotta go. Good night, folks. Yeah, I'm going soon too because it's almost 10. I got 10 minutes left. I'm gonna wrap up some questions here. And, by the way, if you're interested, I think, James, you're following us on LinkedIn anyway. We're like a few weeks away from closing the second round of financing for the real estate. And then we're opening for a third round, possibly in, I don't know, after the summer or something. But for the longest time, I had a very big problem getting money. And then once you get money and you find an investor that you're comfortable with, you're very cautious about bringing in other people. Because the more people you bring in, the more complicated things get. And Vinny says, how far and how advanced do you think the crypto scene will become? Well, currently the crypto scene is being kept alive by the billions of the very large money-making people, and they're paying everybody. The small people are generally not making money. So I see it like Spotify. Everybody was really hyped up about Spotify until they put their music on Spotify and then found out for 5 years that Spotify isn't really paying them anything. And it's going to be the same in crypto. 5 years from now, people will have found out that all of the money they put in crypto and in NFT has essentially evaporated or has returned very little to no yields at all. And at that point, interest in it is just going to wane. At the same time, you're gonna have regulators moving in on it heavily, and it's going to go into a place to where all of this hype about making money is going to completely dissipate. The funds are gonna be drained out of it, and it's gonna choke the fucking life out of crypto, and it's essentially gonna continue as a technical platform, which it was actually supposed to be. The blockchain platform is technically sound, and it's a great idea for many things, but it wasn't meant to be currency or storage for artwork. And when people are saying it's going to be smart contracts, it's going to be NFT, the problem with that is that sovereign nations generally will not accept you making binding contracts outside of the legal system of any country. And the problem for you is going to be that these contracts are unenforceable. Cryptocurrency, NFTs are unenforceable. If anything goes wrong, you have lost it all. If any participant of the system at any point decides to cheat you, you're just shit out of luck. There is no police, there is no court, there's nowhere you can go to. And when people, I think eventually people are going to find out that, and then money is going to be drained out of the system, and that's when the hype is going to be over, and then it's going to continue on as a valid technical platform for various things. But people are going to look back on the crypto hype of these COVID years and going to be like, wow, that was a crazy time. You know, if you had invested there before, it would be crazy. And then if you didn't get out in time, it was really going to suck for you. And then all these crypto bros will move on to the next Ponzi scheme, and they're all going to sell courses on how to make $10 million in 2 seconds, or some other bullshit that they're already doing. It's this scene of get rich quick has existed for over 200 years in America, and there's always been this group of people who are not really businessmen, and they're not really employees either. They're just like knights of fortune, and they currently are in crypto. Wolf of Wall Street, let's sell penny stocks. There's always going to be some kind of bullshit scheme that people with a lot of money are going to try to muscle and advertise you to buy into, and you're going to lose all of your money in it. And after crypto, it's going to be the next thing. And then it's going to be the next thing. It's never been any other way. That's essentially what the original Ponzi scheme was. It was a guy who said, with my system, you're going to make a lot of money really quick, so buy into my system, and I will give you these tokens. Fuck, he gave them tokens. Does that remind you of something? I'm going to give you these tokens, and in a few months from now, these tokens are going to be super, super valuable, and then you can sell them for a massive profit. But I'm telling you one thing, you should totally hold those tokens, because those that hold Ponzi tokens will get really, really rich. And if you want to know the future of crypto, you should look into the communication that Ponzi did when he did his thing, and you'll find out it's the same communication and the same messages that they're saying now about a crypto, and especially NFTs and these things. All right, that's all I gotta say. The technology will remain, but everything else is gonna be. The truth shall be revealed, right? All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I want to thank you for being on Record Label Boss Music Industry Monday today. If you want to join me on our server at countzerorecords.com/discord, it's a public Discord server. You can go to Discord Explorer, type in Count Zero Records, and you'll find it. And there's a lot of stuff in there. If you want to submit your demos to us, you can do that there. There's also links to our new demo submission services, which is one of our investment projects, by the way. So, and I'm going to be back on Wednesday at 2000 Central European Time. Again, with probably Wicked Wednesday, Weird Wednesday, or something like that. Record Label Boss, Wicked Wednesday. Thank you for being on Record Label Boss with me today on Monday. I wish you a wonderful week. I'll see you on Wednesday. And if you want to see me before Wednesday, join me on the Discord server. I love you all. I see you then. And I'm going to do the outro now, I think. No, I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to do this one. That's right. Thank you so much, James. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, ebook. Thank you, Dalek. and everybody who has been on the show. Slava Ukraini.
Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Ой, у лузі червона